Oh, he's back to home.
He's at home at the moment, yeah.
Yeah. Hi everybody. If anyone's trying to get in and can't get through for any reason, if you just give me a message and I'll add you in. I'm just adding you in again now, Bob. I'm sending you an invite. No, I was saying about the flesh. It's a company called Andrea Color here, one of the acrylic manufacturers.
Andrea Color.
Andrea Color, and they do a set just for flesh. So basically, you get the different tones from light pink down through a sort of an almost chocolate color, almost.
Yeah. Which I take it you've imported it?
No, it was the local model shop in Belfast had it.
All right.
So they're. I mean, I have heard of them, the name, but I don't think they're generally sort of in shops anywhere. But it's the same idea as the Vallejo and the all the rest of them. The same. The bottles are identical. The little bottles are the usual. The little 17 ml.
Oh yeah.
Paint bottles, which each one then is a different standard. I think once Vallejo started manufacturing that way, everyone else copied them.
Yeah. I take it it's acrylic, is it?
It's acrylic, yeah. So it is quite different, but the secret seems to be very thin layers. You dilute the paint to the point where you think it's not actually going to work. But it does work. It's sort of the strains in it. It does, but you have to build up a layer upon a layer upon a layer upon a layer.
Yeah.
And I know what you're saying about the you start off with the sort of the standard skin tone, then you do the highlights, then you do the lowlights, and build it up that way. But I'll see how I get on. I mean, if I get it wrong, I can always strip it completely and start again.
You put the black or the very dark in the cracks, the folds first, very first.
There's an argument for both methods. Some people say go light to dark. Some people say go dark to light. The problem is with those paints, if you really put them on really, really thin, I found that if you go dark to light, it's very difficult to get back to light, if you know what I'm saying. So I tend to start light and go down. But
yeah, it's been years since I did a figure, but
yeah, it was a departure for me. It was like doing the Chiar when I did the Chiar. It was the first, and it worked out okay. But same with the figure, it's just a different approach. Hi, Bob.
How are you guys this evening?
Hi, Bob.
Can't complain.
Yes, you can. You just choose not to.
Exactly. Well, and no one ever listens when you complain as well.
No.
The big problem I have here is that if I have that light on, I go very blue. But if I turn it off, look, I'm natural again. Don't know why.
Huh.
But I need it to work, unfortunately. I keep meaning to get an overhead light. I haven't gotten around to it yet. It's on my list of things to do.
Overhead lights don't work for me, as you can see.
Too much reflection.
I have to wear a hat.
Same problem. Mine's on the side here, so if I have it where I can use it while we're on, I hang out it. Get that cloud at the corner of the screen.
Oh, yeah, it gives a sort of a blue. Yeah, I know. It was Andy Golightly. I was talking to Andy, and he has just done a new man cave, and the lights that he used are too long, like sort of 5-foot strip lights, but they're only £17 in B&Q, so I probably will get at least one of those. Because at the minute in here I've got a 60-watt bulb, one of those ancient things.
Incandescent type.
Yes, and it's been. I think it's the same bulb's been in here since we bought the house 13 years ago. So.
Not sure. Oh, we got one of those.
Lighting is an important aspect of modelling. I know. I sent a link to a few people, but no one seems to want to play tonight. For whatever reason. What are you working on, Bob? Are you still at the final countdown, or?
I'm doing the cleanup on the parts for the cancer build that starts this week. It's 57 Ford station wagon.
Are you doing it as the police version or the ordinary version?
The regular version.
Regular version.
And I'll be doing it in the blue instead of the aqua color that it's showing.
Yeah.
Teal or whatever. I'll do it in a dark blue for the prostate cancer. And it's a really, really nice kit. I'm real impressed with it.
Is it an old kit?
No, it's a brand new tooling.
Right. I know a lot of companies seem to be getting it right these days. With any new kits coming out, they're actually doing it properly. Hold on, I'll switch over to full screen just to.
All right.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
It's all new tooling. They even have the decals for the hubcaps and all the badges and stuff that go on it.
Very
I'm in
nice.
the process of getting this cleaned up so we can start on the 1st for the cancer awareness build.
Is it like a 31-day build, and you've got the whole of October? Is it or?
Well, technically, yeah, but it's one of those if you don't get done, you don't get done, and you just finish when you finish.
Right. I know. With doing that, the Volkswagen Beetle, the non-Mad Max version, it built really, really quickly. Again, because it was a new kit, a new design. It was far superior to that Christine kit, which sits staring at me up there. No comparison at all. The way it just fell together. Revell do a good job on kits. I noticed, funny, I was over visiting my daughter in England the weekend. I came across a Tamiya version of the same thing, but I just had a look at the parts. It must be quite an old Tamiya kit because it didn't look fantastic at all. Same scale as the Revell one, just didn't look the same detail on it. But was chatting to Neil about the lighting kit, Bernie, and he was saying, are you going to just go with the cycle coating first and then do another one, or will there be a variation available from the very start?
Well, I've developed the hover bike software first because that's the first kit that's going to be available with the lighting board.
Yeah.
But it really is a case of as soon as there's a need for it, I can set to and write a program to cover it. It's we're still, I think, still deciding, for example, for the warship. I think that there's going to be so many effects on that we're going to be probably linking a couple of boards together. Perhaps have one covering the weaponry and one covering the lighting.
Right.
For example.
Mm-hmm.
But, I think there's been a few sort of queries about whether it can be used for Enterprise kits, Star Trek lighting, stuff like that, which it can. It's just that what I have to do is just adapt some of the coding that I've done for my earlier stuff for this board.
I just think I think that now I could be wrong, but I think that's what the sales are. That everyone wants to light their be it a Star Trek kit or a Star Wars kit, wherever it may be, and they're readily available, and we all have lots of them in our stash.
Well, that's true. I did have I did sell a kit for the refit up until about 2 years ago, but at that time I didn't have the financial backing to get enough boards made. I was hand making every one, and it just wasn't worth my while.
Mm-hmm.
But I've still got the code that I used. I'll have to be enacted, but I've still got the main code that I used.
That's where I first came across you. Was your lighting kit?
Oh right.
Way back in the dark distant past, yes.
Yeah, it was probably the was that the 1000th? Yeah, that was the 1000th Enterprise, wasn't it?
At that stage, so.
Yeah.
When you were first starting, and then you had your YouTube channel. Whose name escapes me? Oh, I'm embarrassed. I should remember. But
what's that? Sorry.
Your YouTube channel. You had the little videos on of the lighting kits then too.
Oh yeah.
So it's a while ago, but.
Blimey. That doesn't seem that long ago, but you know, now you mention it like that.
It is, yes.
It's a while.
Time flies when you're enjoying yourself, I know.
Yeah, the sun, the light didn't reflect quite so much off my head in those days, did it?
I see the helicopter stuff on the shelf too. Is that another hobby, or is that just something that?
Yeah, well, it is. It's I used to fly a lot of radio control back in the day. Then I decided to go over to helicopters, and that was probably the kiss of death for my radio control days, to be honest. that's why that thing you can see up there, that's it's still not complete. It's mechanically complete, but I haven't started putting it together again because I bought myself a small one to learn with.
It's got to the stage where, I mean, funny, I was in Maplin about half an hour ago, and the stuff that they sell now, you literally just off the shelf, the little quadcopters, and charge it and you're away. So
that's right. My boy's got one. He's got I don't know which make it is, but he took it. We had a local show here where he was the official photographer, and he took this little quadcopter along and just threw it into the air a couple of times and got some good aerial shots.
Yeah, that's amazing.
It was less than £50, complete with very high HD camera on it. Only quite small. I mean, I've got over here. I've got a. That's what remains of a little camera that I started hacking about, but then found it really wasn't worth the effort of messing around with it because.
Get something off the shelf.
Straight off the shelf.
Yeah.
Very simply, very quickly.
You don't RC Bob, no?
I don't. Sorry, what?
No, I was asking Bob. Does he play RC?
Well, not anymore. I used to, and when I decided I couldn't afford to crash them anymore. That was couldn't afford to replace them.
An honest man. I like it. No, and that's funny. I did do it at one stage as well. My brother-in-law is heavily into it, big time. There is a local club, but it has got a lot easier, and a lot of people are flying electric stuff now, of course. Chris and Alex, who you know, Bob, I mean, you've seen some of the videos that they've posted this year of Alex flying, and you wouldn't believe it, Bernie. I mean, it's an electric-powered aircraft he's flying, but sort of, zing, 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 zing. It's just, just insane.
To be honest, I never got any enthusiasm going for this high-speed stuff. I mean, I would have loved to have had a true jet, but the price, as Bob says, you crash one of those, it just goes boom, and that's a heck of a lot of money just gone up in smoke.
That's the change. You see, the price has dropped like a stone for these things because there's so much competition now.
Yes, it's got to drop a lot further before I can afford it.
Oh well, I know. Same with I mean, that's where the quadcopters and so on. £30. In fact, funny, I found one at the local dump. Our local dump. the stuff that people throw away.
Yeah.
Last year we got a couple of Xbox 360s. Got them working. People had thrown them away because they weren't working. All they needed was a resolder done on them. But then one day someone had left a helicopter with the remote and everything else.
Yeah.
Again, I recalibrated it, got it working okay. So it's just one man's rubbish is another man's treasure.
Well, that's true. I mean, one of the reasons I didn't like to go to fast jets, whether electric or true jet powered, is because they were just too fast. You don't see them in the sky for long enough. You don't get to appreciate them.
It is a bit insane.
That fly a bit slower.
That's why. That's what I used to fly with a Piper Cub, and it was not fast.
A Piper Cub.
Yeah.
Yeah. I used to have one in American Army colours.
Mine was a standard bright yellow.
Oh yeah.
So you could see it as well as fly it. So that was just me. No, it's one of those things. If I had more time, I would perhaps get back into the flying side of it again. But it's just something else to add to the list.
Yeah, our local club were running into problems because the local power company wanted to build turbines right next to where our airfield was.
Yeah.
Of course, they've got the weight behind them. There was no way that the landowner was not going to sell out to them.
Yeah.
So
the local club here, what they have is they it used to be the dump, the landfill.
Oh, right, yeah,
And what happened is after about 10 years, they covered it up in the grass and so on. So it can't be used for anything else, basically. So
No,
they got access to it. So it actually worked out
that's what I
to the
was
benefit. So
losing Mob Modeler to a toxic gas.
we're not worried about that. Yeah, well,
Not really well.
couldn't tempt fate. Do you want to ever go with the board?
Hmm?
Do you want to ever go with the board?
Sorry, I didn't
try the board.
Oh, you want to see the board?
If we can, yeah.
Yeah, sure. I'll see if I can get the camera in a position where you can see it and I can operate it at the same time. It's going to be difficult. If I show you around it first, that's the easiest thing. Right, that's the board itself.
And for size reference, that's about.
For size reference, let me think what have I got here that I can use.
Coin?
There's
There's
an SD card.
I didn't think it was quite as small as that. That's impressive, yeah.
So it's a little bit bigger than an SD card, I suppose, something like that. So what we got? It runs off 12 volts, which I've got. Well, actually, I've got this one running off Old Faithful PP3 size battery.
I was going to ask, can you run like 9 or?
Yeah, anything above 6 volts really.
Right.
Because the microprocessor needs 5 volts.
Right.
And
the standard USB sort of.
If I just quickly give you a peep underneath. Can you see on the right hand side there's a voltage regulator?
It's not
that
sharp,
thing,
but basically, yeah.
Okay.
So whatever
not
you
enough
feed
light
in,
here.
it's okay. Whatever you feed in, it balances to the correct voltage.
Yeah. What I've arranged is that whatever voltage you're putting in, that's the voltage that's coming out to your LEDs. So that if you're feeding 12 volts in, then you'd have to add suitable resistors to your LEDs to operate off 12 volts.
That's fine, yeah.
So basically, if I just show this thing running then, so if I switch it on, I don't know if this is going to work very well because it's maybe a bit bright. I can't line this up, but
I can see it okay, yeah.
Right. Pardon me while I fiddle around. I'll try and get this thing so that I don't have to hold it. Can you see the?
Oh, that's fine. Yeah.
Right. Okay. If I do, there we go. Right. So I switch it on. This. Bear in mind, this software is simply for this hoverboard. So what we've got there is this blue. That would be mounted behind the dashboard. So when you first switch it on, all that happens is the dashboard lights up with a pale blue. Mm-hmm. Everything else is on it is switched off. First switch, let's say magnetic switch, it turns on a couple of navigation lights, standard Star Trek type, just a simple or aircraft type. So the next advance is, at this point, what you've got here is, let me just shade this a minute. It's a bit bright, isn't it? It's sort of
okay, I think.
Overcoming, yeah. Up at this end, I don't know if you can see it, that is actually blue and it's pulsing.
Not saying it pulse too much, but...
Let me block this out a minute. Right, can you see here that this LED here is pulsing? It's up and down. Right. Well, that's representing, or that will be the main motor, the main engine, and it's on tick over, if you like, on idle.
Yeah.
This here, which I'll have to dull down the intensity, is the navigation. The dashboard. And let me see if I can't put something in front of it that actually will dull it down a bit, because that is a bit bright, and even with that, it's a bit difficult with this camera, isn't it? Really.
It shows up sufficiently, I think. I think all the cameras all fall down on anything presented like that. So, but it's showing up. It's pulsing through a red.
Yeah. Well, what's actually happening there is you've got an RGB and it's cycling through different colours. So rather than try and feed fibre optic cables up through to a dashboard representation with different colours on each one, what is suggested to Neil that we do is that the dashboard is representative of a panel, a display panel.
Yeah.
And that display panel is giving a continuous readout type display in graphics and everything. And so from an outsider, from when you get far enough away from it, it just looks like changing patterns of light.
It's almost like there's a thing they sell now. If you're away from home on holiday, it simulates a television flickering.
That's right.
And all it is two RGB LEDs which basically randomly flick.
Yeah, that's basically the sort of principle. So that there is, we're at the tick over stage here. Now, the next stage is full throttle. Now, what's happening now, and you probably can't see it because it is quite subtle, but in the RGB, the LED here, which is a two-color LED, blue and red, it's flickering blue, but in there is the occasional red flash.
Yeah, see the two lights either side, the sort of strobes. Is that what they are?
Yeah, no, these two here are the auxiliary engines, one to each side.
Oh, like a balance, sort of a station holding, or
like little thrusters to keep the thing upright. So they occasionally come on and off at random. So that would be your full throttle stage, if you like. You've still got the dashboard changing. You've got the main motor going full black. You've got the two side motors, one on either side, independently firing. A bit like an RCS on an Enterprise, just station holding, but it's keeping the riders balanced. Nav lights on the time, and then we cycle back down to tick over again, and obviously the cycle repeats.
It repeats every time you switch it with the
it basically cycles through each time. So
it is very similar to a Starship setup.
Well, the thing is the whole idea behind it is that you can have anything that you want it to be. This particular board I've arranged, it's got 8 outputs and 3 inputs, so you can put 3 different switch controls in it to do different things. And of the 8 outputs, each of the 8 can drive up to about 25 LEDs each.
Yeah, so, I can't think of anything that would need more unless you were doing some insane shit that I'm not familiar with. But funny enough, I noticed. I don't know if you saw it, Bob. TrekWorks video about his soundboard.
Yeah.
Which is quite a departure for him. I don't know if he's doing it with I assume it's just by himself.
That's that big dog greeting card.
It looks, I think it is the big dog, and obviously he's just pre-programming it. Yeah, which
the light is running off the speaker feed. Making it flash.
It doesn't sound fantastic, but I think that's down to the size of the speaker that's in the thing.
Right, it's in a box. When you put a speaker in a box, it makes a big difference.
Yeah, because I've heard it used for Lost in Space Robot, and it works. But it's a case of getting the box acts as a secondary amplification almost on it, and gives it a much better sound.
Right.
But,
the baffle.
Yeah.
If I can get it set up, Liam, I've got a soundboard here that I bought that plays WAV files, which is something that I'm working on to use with that board. I don't know if you saw there was a white connector halfway down the board.
Didn't notice, but so it's an ancillary add-on, yeah.
Do you see this white?
Oh yeah.
Well, that there is we're working on. I'm working on a wave of actually using the outputs to drive a soundboard. But
so it's almost like the soundboard is independent of the main board, but a command gets sent to the board.
Yeah, well,
yeah.
The thing is that originally I was going to be using all the outputs, but I've now found out that this particular board that I've been working with can actually be controlled by a serial commands. So all I need is just 2 wires from the control from this little board to the soundboard to actually trigger sounds. What I'm trying to do is just set it up and see what you think of the quality of sound from this one. Let's see if I can. I don't know if you can hear that at all.
Oh yeah.
Sounds fine at this end, so.
It's polyphonic as well, which means I can.
So it will generate sound as well as play sound.
It plays loads of different sound talks.
Right.
Let me just stop a minute.
Okay.
It's as I say, it's I'm simplifying it down a little bit to try and keep the cost down as well, because this particular board that I've bought is open source hardware.
Right.
Basically, I'm extracting from it all those parts of the design that I think I can use.
Yeah, it makes sense. Yeah. Hi, Randall.
Hey guys.
Hi. So I've been the advantage with this is you can use whatever sounds you want. You know, you're not restricted to those that come with the kit. If you want a different sound to that
can you reprogram it?
You can You
No.
can,
Can the user reprogram it? That's what I mean.
Sorry.
Can the user reprogram it?
Yes, they can.
That would be important. Yeah.
All the sounds are WAV files, and they're simply stored on a
micro SD.
which slots into a carrier on the board, and you can have up to 2,048 different sounds. So, and up to I'm not sure how many. I think it's perhaps up to it's either 8 or 14 sounds all played simultaneously.
Right. I mean, again, well, for my purposes, it would probably just be the standard. There'll be a speech, a theme tune of whatever it might be.
Sure.
Weapon sounds, phaser sounds, the usual type of stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
I'm just trying to see if I've got anything in. I think I put a couple of Star Trek sounds on this one. I'm not sure.
It's like I know Boyd was doing. He demonstrated it. Boyd Compton demonstrated it with the usual William Shatner introduction to Star Trek, then the theme tune, and the phaser and photon torpedoes going.
All right.
I don't know if it was wise doing it on YouTube, but because of what they like about copyright and so on.
Oh yeah. I've got shut up. Oh, I know why that's happening. It's all right. I've connected it in to just one bloody sample all the time, haven't I? Yeah, let's see.
it was the right sound, but it seemed slower than usual, or is it my imagination? Oh, very good. Appropriate, I suppose.
Yeah, I'm not sure what other ones I've got.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, so it's just something I'm playing with at the moment. So
I should have taken the volume down.
Yeah. I'll turn him down, Rant. There you go. He's turned down now. Speaking of which, you did go down to Dublin,
I did, yes.
and
Had a good time. Saw lots of models.
you didn't enter for anything, no?
No. I know it's open to non-members, non-IPMS members, but no, I never actually got around to taking anything down. I was only down for the Sunday.
Oh, I was going to ask you only down. Just to explain what this is, the IPMS Ireland show was on in Dublin on Saturday and Sunday, and I know I've seen some stuff on Facebook of some of the stuff that was there. Some of the models are just superb. There's just no question. I like the bear. It was a Russian bear being monitored by a yeah, nice build. And was there much sci-fi stuff?
There was a wee bit. There was a couple of the junior builds. There was one, the Attack on Hoth diorama.
Oh, saw that. Yeah, you got second place or something. I think I was.
He did, yeah, and then there was another one that was sort of like a couple of ATSTs, couple of AT-ATs as well. There was one an AT-AT stomping on what looked like a modern tank.
Yeah, I don't know. It's coming up with the idea. I think that's part of the struggle with it. I think. I was hoping there would have been more photographs. There's the IPMS Ireland forum. There's been some photographs put up. That's where I saw the bear.
I posted a lot of photographs on my Facebook page.
I must check.
I was in the process of uploading them to Google Plus.
Right, and funny, I've got photographs I took on Friday, somewhere you'd have liked to have been. RAF Duxford.
Oh yes.
Yes, well worth a visit. I don't know. I mean, I know Wayne talks about it all the time. Speaking of whom, he's losing patience with me. I'll try and add him and. Stop trying to get on, Wayne. Patience. Put him on now. Okay, there we go.
Patience, young Padawan.
Aye. It was very quiet. There was about 5 primary school bus loads at it, and that was about it. There's hardly anyone else there. They're still working away at the American hangar. It's not open until next year, but I probably will put up the photographs over the next few days on the Google Plus pages. Impressive stuff. I mean, especially that's the first time I saw the oh god, here we go. Can't remember the name of the aircraft now. The shorts, no, the shorts. The flying boat.
Sunderland.
Sunderland, yes. The first time I'd seen one of those, and the flesh to get an idea of the size of it. And then we went on to Concorde as well, which was awful. The advantage must have been it's terrible. It's like it's so claustrophobic. And the windows are literally about this big. It must have been just anyone who was claustrophobic couldn't have.
I've been in a couple of them. Unfortunately, not flying in one, but there was one at it was one of the prototypes at Yeovilton a lot of years ago, and also there's one sitting on the quay beside USS Intrepid in New York.
That's right. Yeah, the one that's in Duxford is the test aircraft they used for testing for icing and whatever. Yeah.
And both times remarked on how cramped it was inside. Just to get into the cockpit, you'd nearly have to turn sideways.
Yeah, even the food trolley is literally about this wide.
Yeah.
Compared with what you normally get in an aircraft. I mean, it must have been very thin needles that served on it, but an extremely long. That's the other thing. It's really odd. It's like it's much longer than I thought it would be. But
stretches on forever, doesn't it?
Impressive aircraft, but just
gets even longer when it was flying.
This is true. Yes, that's right.
We got one here in Bristol still, the last one that was flying in this country.
The one in Duxford, the last Sunday of every month, they lower the nose for 2 hours or something. I think it must be to keep it from seizing up. No, it's some fantastic aircraft, and the interesting thing, as we were finishing up, we were in the shop which sells all sorts of the flying jacket, only £720.
You bought two?
But yeah, second mortgage. But I noticed quite a few Airfix kits and a little small amount of Revell kits, but quite a few of the kids were overlooking at the kits, which I was surprised to see. Happy to see, but surprised to see. But was there much on sale in Dublin? I suppose it was.
Well, not on sale, but to be perfectly honest, a lot of it was quite expensive too. I think it's higher taxes down there.
It's 20% VAT as opposed to. Well, no, there's 25. Maybe it's 25. Well, I know Mark's models now. They do keep a fair range of stuff, but they're not the cheapest. But then there's a couple of other dealers as well. I mean, obviously Chris Spalding was there from Belfast, but
yeah.
I mean,
Chris has the repop of the MPC Airfix Space 1999 Eagle transporter, and he also has the new one with all the extra bits and pieces added to it.
The Mobius one.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Or not the Mobius one. Sorry, it's the Polar Lights one. But it's the one with.
No, it's the Mobius one. Oh, sorry, no, the Polar Lights one. I beg your pardon. You're right. It is that one. That's the 22-inch one.
No, it's the old kit, but with add-ons.
No.
The price put me off. To be honest.
Something shocking.
39. Was it €39 for the standard kit?
And it's not even accurate.
Yeah, and 70 something odd euro for the special edition.
I know there was a video
kit with extra bits and pieces added to it.
I think it was
the spine and a different pod.
I can't think of his name now. There was a video put up last week. He won first place at Wonderfest, and they presented him with a pre-pop or whatever the right term is.
Chadlick or something like that.
Yes, that's the name. J. That's right. He had his Millennium Falcon, I think he won with. And he put up the video of all the different parts. Looks extremely nice. Very well put together, very well designed, but
extremely expensive.
Well, it's $99. It'll work out, and $139, but it'll probably sell for about $99. We'll pay £105, £110 here, which is just crazy. Yeah, but it falls into that's really big model, but you never know. You never know. Santa may be generous, but we'll keep trying. You're not tempted by it, Bob? No, you're not tempted to get one?
Of the new Eagle? I may get one.
It's definitely an investment kit. It's not a spur of the moment kit at all. So
I can see a lot of scratch building potential there.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. What are you up to, Wayne?
My knees. No. So, from the sound of it, you got into Duxford finally.
Duxford, yeah. Yeah, we were there on Friday morning from about 11 until about 1. It was about as much as my wife could stand. So.
Did you go over the fence, or did you go through the entrance like a normal person?
We paid through the nose like a normal person. The standard.
That's why I cut it with me.
Oh dear no. The standard is $15.90 to get in. Then they'd say a 10% voluntary payment on top of that makes it $17.50. And then of course they'd ask you then, do you want to add gift aid? So they get an extra 20% then tax rate. No, okay. Do you want a program? No. So all the usual stuff. The staff are nice and so on, but and then they had the pleasure flights as well on the biplane. Oh, I can't think what the biplane was.
The Havilland Rapide.
That's it. Yep. Yeah. We're doing flights over the airfield and that. No, I mean it's amazing, the B-17s and that first hall on the left as you go in, the big hall with all of the.
Talking about cramped, I was allowed to sit in the ball of the Sully B-17.
Right.
So that you talk about size, that was tough.
Oh, that would be nice. And if they've got two of them there as well, of course, which I was surprised at. I should have thought I had the photographs, but I haven't got the card with me. I could have shown them tonight. But and the thing I would say, if anyone was going to visit, take a wide-angle lens, because it's quite hard. In that big main hangar, it's crazy how cramped in the aircraft are. If they ever have to get one of them out, it was sort of like, I'd like the one on the top shelf, please, and they take everything out to get it. It's crazy. And then
before they built the American wing of the museum, we had the minus B-29 bomber, the B-52 in there. So
right, crazy.
So
I could see the American thing's supposed to open in spring next year, and I got up as far as the fence. You can see a little bit of what's in there. But what I found most interesting was the privately owned hangar. Where all there's a Curtiss P-40 and oh dear, what's the other aircraft now? A Corsair, and there's a Bearcat, and there's all these different aircraft that I'd never seen up close before. So it's definitely an interesting visit.
Excuse me, Liam, I'm going to have to go now.
Oh no, okay, Bernie. Thanks for showing us that.
Nice to see you again.
I'll be chatting again about the board.
Yeah, no problem. All right.
Bye bye.
Cheers now.
But no, well worth a visit. I probably won't get back again, but it was a bit of a rush thing. We were meeting our daughter, so we only got a couple of hours of it. But no, recommend it to anyone who hasn't been.
Seriously, want to get there sometime.
I'm surprised you haven't made it because well, put it this way: if you fly from City of Derry Airport to Stansted, it's only a 20-minute drive then. And you get a flight. There's flights in the new year for $14.99 each way.
I know everything's all convenient and everything like that, but we really need to stay there a couple of days to do the place justice.
True. Yeah. Well, I mean say the flights are cheap enough, and it's just then it's probably the biggest hassle is getting from Stansted Airport to Duxford, because unless you have a car, we hired a car because we knew we were going to do that much travelling about with my daughter.
Yeah. When I went there in 2010, they did used to do regular bus service from the train station to Duxford. But when I went at the beginning of the year, they seem to have stopped it because I think they've had an issue or something.
Right. Is it a long walk from the station?
It's about 7-8 miles from the centre of Cambridge.
Oh no, it's further than that. Because we were driving, and I know we got there. It took a good 15 minutes in the car, so it's close. It's closer to. I think it's closer to Stansted than it is to Cambridge. Sorry, maybe halfway. It's about the same distance, but definitely Randall. Superb collection of aircraft. Best I've seen.
I don't understand how I missed it out because me and Kathy used to go down to the likes of Farnborough and Riyadh air shows and things like that.
Yeah. I think it's only really grown perhaps the last few years.
No idea.
Yeah. And it's a lovely spot too because I mean it is literally flat as far as you can see in each direction. And Friday was it was a beautiful day. Wasn't blue skies, but there's some clouds. I'm kicking myself for not bringing the photographs now. One thing I didn't buy an awful lot in Cambridge, but one thing I did get was this, which the other people may find useful. You can see what it is. It is a.
You hold it a wee bit to your left, a wee bit more. That's it.
It is a memo holder. So for a little bit, so there's a company called Tiger have these crazy shops that sell all this sort of weird and wonderful things you didn't know you needed.
Yeah.
And what it is, I got two of them. I'll show you. I had been meaning to order these before. It's basically the alligator clips.
Ah.
can see it now on. So
yes.
there's a whole pile of them. Now this is fairly, it's not very heavy, but I would say if you just put a piece of blue tack or something on, or literally put it on something permanent, but you've all the little individual. So if you are painting something, and these will bend quite a bit, so it's a useful one if you are painting multiple parts. And in fact, as well, you could put it on your turntable and just turn it around as you need to do each one as you're painting them. But very, very expensive. £2. So
you were robbed.
They do mail order as well, so it's well worth having a look at them. Tagger is the company. They have a branch in Dublin. I don't think they've got one in Belfast, right? I don't think so. But just basically, so that in the packet becomes that when you open it up. So, but another useful one to have, another add-on for the toolbox. Went into WH Smith in Cambridge, hoping that the model zone section would be half decent. It's actually practically nothing. There were perhaps 10 models. Very disappointing. But that's the way of the world, I think.
Depends on the size of the. Well, actually, no. WH Smith's in Edinburgh actually has quite a good wee selection of stuff.
I think it boils down to if it sells, they stock it. If it doesn't, they don't stock it. Because one of the guys on the IPMS Ireland forum put up a Toy Master in Mullingar, of all places, was having a sale. The 1/4 scale shuttle with the one that's on the jumbo jet, and the 1/4 scale Saturn V were €20. But I don't know if it applies to all Toy Masters. We don't have one in Derry, but and I don't know. There used to be one with you in Portrush, wasn't there? I think in that department store, whatever its name is. But they probably don't stock that stuff. But I know some of the bigger stores down south were doing a lot of stuff. But it's not one of those.
It still is the White House.
Yes. Yeah. They do have a small toy department, but it's one of those things again. It's some bargains are out there, but it's just finding them. Was there many entries this time in the Dublin show?
Quite a lot. God, there must have been at least a couple of dozen medals and awards been handed out. In fact, my hands are nearly sore clapping. Applauding.
Yeah, I know. Next person. And was there a lot of the same problem they had last year? The ones from up north won a lot of the prizes. Did it happen this time again? I know Chris Spalding got the best.
Again, Chris got a couple of things. Chris O'Donnell that sometimes works with him there. He got quite a few as well. I have to admit, it almost seems as if you nearly win something just by turning up. with the model. But,
yes, I know it's which is why
so many medals that were handed out for this, that, and the other thing. It's not a criticism. I like that.
It's a good thing. It's a good thing. What about your show, Bob? Isn't that soon?
It's the first weekend in November, the one I'm going to, yeah.
Oh, good. Well, you've got a month-ish, I suppose, then, yeah. And then, when's Telford Way? That's 14th of November, is it? Something like that?
It's 7th of November, just after Bonfire Night.
That's another place I would love to visit, but I know I'm not going to be going this year, so...
I know Jamie's going. Some other people from... UK from Sci-Fi Styrene are going.
Right. I mean, it depends where you are too in the UK. If it's if it's a 2-hour drive, you don't mind doing it. But if you were in Cornwall or somewhere, it wouldn't be practical.
I'm going as a dual purpose because my sister lives in Northampton, so I'm going to stay in Northampton and I'm just get on the train up to Telford.
It's not too far, I suppose. Yeah.
It's about 2 hours on the train.
We'll have to organise for next year, Randall.
Yep.
We'll see what happens. I know it's a long list. Well, next year's bad news. There's so many things I want to do next year.
I just want a bit of advice on doing the on the aircraft. I just want the exhaust staining.
Yeah.
I've got that.
Mm-hmm.
Which is the MiG set? Oh, yeah, MiG set.
What's the best way of doing it? Because all the aircraft were not supposed to be clean.
Well, you got two experts who know far more than I do here, so fire away.
Depends on the aircraft and who operates it, how clean it is.
No, I'm doing.
That was a strange thing about Duxford, Wayne. I don't know if you noticed in Duxford. You know, I was taking photographs of engine manifolds and so on, and some of you could see the colour staining and things like that. But what I noticed was the biggest thing on the aircraft in Duxford is the dust. People were writing their names in the dust on the aircraft, which is not a good sign at all. They need to do something about that.
Yeah.
But sorry, Ranton, you were saying about perhaps. Well, if it's an ME 109 you're doing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I'll get the decals on now.
Yeah. I think that one of the biggest stain on a 109 was the exhaust stain. That
Yeah.
pretty much
No.
covered
Best way to
everything
make
from the exhaust to just after the wings.
Right, I got
Slipstream line.
I've got
I use,
thing is got 2 powders and 1 wash.
Mm.
Well, the wash would all be done after your gloss. Well, you've always had a gloss on to do the decals.
Like, I've glossed it, I've put the decals on, then I've got another clear coat, then I'm going to just add the exhaust streaks, do the pin wash it, do the pin wash. That's what I got the odorless finish for.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
Because I watched the video on YouTube about it.
I'm just looking through something here to try and see if there's any guidelines on this. This is that Eagle's Wings book, which is quite a good one. You can find that cheap sometimes, but it doesn't seem to do much in the way of exhaust staining. Well, if you're doing the pin wash, would you then seal it after that again, and then do the powders?
Well, it says to do the clear, do a coat of clear. Then once you've done the decals, do another coat of clear. Then it should the wash should flow easily through the panel lines.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
But I'm going to go downstairs a minute. I think I've thrown some instructions away.
Okay.
That I need.
It is an interesting one because I know again from doing the Mad Max build. I mean, I used the hairspray technique for doing the rusting stuff on it, but then it was the first time I used the oils. And the oils.
This is the third one of these I've had to buy.
Hmm.
Why?
Western Portland.
Well, have you had disasters?
The first one was a disaster on the paint job. The paint job looked like it's got measles. It had measles. Bossy. The second one, I messed up on the underside, so I decided to wash it off with cellulose finish. Unfortunately, if you leave it on too long, it melts all the plastic.
Right. Yeah.
Yes. Right. So that's the first one.
Wayne, you see your light? Could I ask you if you point your light upwards?
I did not do anything.
All right, that's okay. No, it's too bright now on your face. That's it. That's perfect.
My main light's gone. I need a new bulb for it.
Oh, no, you can see you fine now. See, that's much better. Oh no, don't.
I did not kill JFK.
As long as it's not shining at the camera, it's fine. You see, that's better. It's the same problem I have with this one, being too bright. It's just too overpowering. But was there any models at the show that Randall, that you thought perhaps you would like to have a go at yourself?
Quite a few.
Because I know quite often I'll see someone else's build and think, that actually would be quite nice.
Yeah. Funny enough, most of them were ship models.
I was going to say again.
Okay, wait.
Most of them were ship models. The ones that I would like to have a crack at myself.
Sailing ship or battleship?
Well, battleships mostly, military ships. But,
There was a nice submarine. There was a Type 7. Was it a Type 7 submarine?
There was a U-boat. I can't off the top of my head remember. It was Type 7 C, D, whatever. Yeah. I'm not
Type
sure.
7Cs. Yeah, I know. And it was in a glass, nice presentation case one. I remember that picture now.
Which made it very hard to photograph.
Okay. But well, that's no flash basically at that stage. The time I went down 2 years ago, I took a video camera, and I mean, I still look at the video every now and again because there's that much in it that's just superb. The build quality. The dioramas got me. The dioramas were just jaw dropping the last time. I don't know what they were like this time.
Well, there were some real crackers. There was one nice one. It was World War One Lancers doing a charge, and it was I'd seen it there last year actually as well, and it was amazing the detail in it.
Some figure painters are just. I mean, I'm at this thing now. I don't know. I've started on himself. I don't see if I can get this to focus. It probably won't focus. Come on, focus. Focus. It just won't focus. Why is it? It's because it's the back. There we go.
Right.
No, it's just the first level on his eyes, but you can sort of see Russell Crowe there. I hope you can sort of get an impression of him. It is a very accurate rendition of him. I've been trying to do the problem with this part of it is that there are so many and the colors going all funny as well. It's not as try this way. Get in close. See if it'll sharpen up. Come on, sharpen up. I know what it is. Probably because I'm doing it. Let me see. Try this. Try like this and see what happens. Oh, come on. There it is. Now it's a very back of it. It's a very detailed figure. You know, the amount of folds and so on and thing. So I'm doing layers at the minute. I'm trying to get an impression of blue, but I don't want it to be blue. Because when you see the film of West, try to sort of freeze frame and so on, it's got a hint of blue, but it's not actually blue. It's probably not going to sharpen again, sure. But it's just getting that subtle sort of indication of color, and the same thing with the hats. So, although the hats perhaps got more blue in it than I intended, probably it's showing up a little bit there. But again, it's just doing layers of it and then adding it. You probably see the blue in that one. So all of the gold edging has to be done in this as well. So it's still progress, but it's interesting. I'm trying to just use very thin layers for each color, which seems to be the way to work. You almost diluted to the point where you think there's no color going on, and it's just layer after layer after layer. But we'll see how it goes. That was one of the ones. IPMS Ireland have a figure build, a group build now from now until December time, so that's why I'm doing that as an aside thing. And hopefully go back to the Star Destroyer perhaps next week. I just haven't had time because I was away at the weekend. I didn't get anything done at all. But no, perhaps next year. Definitely try and get down next year to a double show. But if you have the right subject matter or the right model, you probably could do okay. You probably would get some kind of award, as you say, for effort as much as anything else. But the standards are pretty high, and the Belfast people are obviously raising that standard. From seeing what they're doing, the Northern Modelers Association, you're not tempted, no? Or is it still the same geographic problem?
It's just having to drive down to Belfast. You know, if they're everything's in Belfast, everything's Belfast centric, as it were, in this part of the world, and for the likes of ourselves, 70 miles for you, 60 miles for me, and then.
It would be fine if they once in a while had a meeting in the northwest, but that'll never happen. It's the same problem as the Dublin people; they will never come up this way. But well. No, no our excitement at the minute. There was nobody talking about the new Star Wars kits or anything like that. Or maybe they just they're not into that side of things down there.
There were a couple. There was one Bandai kit on display at the show. The Snowspeeder.
A finished build.
Finished build, yeah.
Yeah,
It looked rather good.
It is a nice. You can get them on Amazon. They're on Amazon UK, but they come from Japan. So I don't know. You probably get away with the 1/72 scale ones, but the 1/48 scale, and the 1/48 scale X-wing is £63.
Yeah, I actually have the Snowspeeder and ATST on order from Amazon, and the prices aren't that much dearer than they were from.
No, but just be careful, because if it is a Japanese import, which it seemed to be, you might get hit when it gets this far. I don't know. It happened to us one time. My son ordered a jacket, and I thought he'd ordered from a UK supplier, and it was a guy in Korea. It was very cheap. It was very reasonable until it got here, and then it was tax time. So
maybe I should have just ordered one at a time. They might have snuck in under the radar, but I ordered both at the same time, so that might have bumped them into the.
Not good, but well.
Oh well.
Games on US, and when you order 3 or 4 things, you end up hardly ever comes in the same box anyway.
That's true.
Right.
Yeah.
I know. I've seen a few unboxings by people. When Bad Grendels does it sometimes, and they seem they lump. It probably depends on the size of the kit. And they aren't. I mean, was it the? You said you ordered the Snowspeeder and the ATST.
Yeah, that's the ones. Yeah.
So they're quite small. You might get away with it. I know the X-wing I got. The box is almost identical in size to the Fine Molds kit. So not a lot of difference between them that way.
I was tempted with the 172nd X-wing and Y-wing, but.
The Y-wing is nice. The Y-wing looks really nice, yeah.
Yeah, I already have those in the fine molds, and I know the Bandai are far better models.
And right on your market connection pops up.
I sort of think to myself, why should I double the what I have, if you know what I mean?
The only thing about the Bandai stuff is maybe a long-term investment, but. Hi Keith, how are you?
Not bad, Liam. How's yourself?
Oh, grand. Monday night we're fine. Just chatting as usual. Usual sort of story. But what are you working on these days? You still at the figures, or on there something else?
I'm doing a 350 NX01 at the moment.
Yes, of course.
I'm ready to chuck in some lights to it. Because I've gotten to that stage. I've managed to complete there's a cargo bay. You won't be able to see it, but there's a cargo bay, photo etch, and
the
shuttle bay.
The stuff from Power Graphics.
Yeah, stuff from Power Graphics, and I also got a set from HDA Model Works. His decal set for it. Very nice.
Is that to do the whole the tonality effect, the different tones of silver, or is it?
No, it's just for pretty much the Power Graphics set.
Right.
So if you've got the Power Graphics set, buy HDA's set, and it pretty much does the shuttle bay.
Because I know the orbital dry docks people run about. He seems to have completely pulled the plug at the minute. There's nothing available from him at all.
Yeah, well, Richard has been having troubles trying to get a hold of his set, so I don't know what's going on there. But
is that who he ordered from? Did he order from them? Yeah.
Yeah, he ordered from Orbital Dry Docks. See, I'm just doing the NX01, so I'm not doing the 350 refit. I'm doing the NX01.
Yeah.
But he's about the refit, and he ordered the set from he ordered the set and of masks, and they just simply didn't arrive. So.
Right. hopefully if you pay it with PayPal, I don't know if the rules with PayPal is if so long as you put an appeal in within 45 days, I think it is. You normally can get your, but if you leave it past the 45 days, you've lost your money usually.
Yeah, no, he's put a claim in as far as I know. So I mean, he won't be out of pocket like that. It's just that the Orbital Dry Docks set masking set is extremely nice.
Oh yeah. I know. I mean, I know the stuff that Lou do. Lou's stuff is just superb as well, but it's just a different approach. But we'll see. You haven't heard anything about the Mobius kit yet? The 1989. I know you said you had one on reserve, or
apparently it's going to be. I don't know whether you guys have seen it, but there's a guy called J.M. Klodick.
Yes, yeah. We were just chatting about it earlier on. We saw the video, which was very revealing. It looks amazing.
It does, doesn't it? So I just got mine on order from place in America. Anyway, I got mine on back.
Starship model or one of those ones? No.
No. It's I hate it when I get these mental blocks. Anyway, it's from my company over there.
Believe me, we all do.
And so it's not a bad price, $85. I think it's quite a reasonable price. But
I would think here in the UK we'll be lucky if we get it for less than £100, which is insane. But it's just to be expected. I think I'm just checking now. Actually, the last time I looked, there was only the one company that seemed to be talking about bringing it in. Oh, hold on. Here's. Let me see. There's something new here. Although I think this is what you were talking about, Randall. The deluxe kit of the MPC one, which is £65. Wow. I don't know what is extra in the deluxe kit. I wonder.
You get the thruster pack on the back.
No, this isn't the Mobius one, Keith. This is the MPC re-release one.
Yeah, well, you get the thruster on the back.
Right. You mean the add-on piece? That's sorry.
The add-on piece. Plus, also you get. I think it's the. I'm not sure if it's the medical or what it is, but it's another center section. That sort of bulges out the side. I'm not sure what section that is, but you get that as well.
You used to think it was described as a science pod or something like that.
Yeah, probably something like that.
Just trying to find it. It was Forbidden Planet in the UK. We're going to distribute the Mobius one. I can't get a price for it now. The last time I looked, it was 110, something crazy like that. So I won't be getting it anytime soon, shall we say? You were talking about using the Arduino for the lighting. Is that what you're doing with the NX01?
To a degree. I'm doing thrusters, photons, phasers. And I'm going to put in as many of the RCS thrusters as what I possibly can. So,
it does. It gives it that.
That's Arduino. I faltered and I bought Ralph's board.
Well, don't blame me. That's what I funny. It's not a Ralph. I have the NX01 when I bought it. It had a lighting kit already in it, and I can't think what it's called now, but it's quite an early one, but it does the job. It's a very strange.
Sorry.
Yeah, the Cult. Yeah, something. I think it's not the Cult TV man. It's another one. I can't think of the name of it now, but.
No, sorry. No, the model kit that I'm getting, the Eagle, 22-inch Eagle, Cult TV man.
Oh, that's who. Sorry. Okay. Monsters Motion. I think you're right. Randall, it's
Yeah, because I got the same thing.
Yeah.
It's the Bussard, the Bussards, the engine lights, and some of the navigation blinkies on it.
And it's not.
Something like 4.5 volts or something.
I'm going to say it works at a very strange voltage, so I don't know if you can alter that, but we'll see what happens. Hi, Eric, again.
Hey guys, how we doing today?
We're fine, thank you. How are you, more importantly?
Huh?
How are you feeling?
My good days and my bad days.
Yeah, I know. Life gets in the way of modelling. Are you building anything at the minute yourself? Or?
Oh, me?
Yeah.
I just got planning on doing some things like for my birthday I brought two clear Battlestar Galactica. So I'm gonna take the covering over the landing bay and I'm get the photo etch and everything so you can see the bulkheads and everything through the clear piece of the of the landing bay. So, once you put on that the opaque plastic part, you can't see anything in it.
Yeah. I haven't seen the clear kit of the Battlestar, and I'm not familiar with that one.
Oh, it's just like it's the new Battlestar Galactica. From the new, it's just the same. It's clear plastic.
Right.
And
I know I have the Enterprise D, the clear plastic one, but again, it's one of those ones that's been, and I've got the Deep Space Nine clear plastic kit. With both of them, they talk about them being very brittle to work with.
Yeah.
Be very careful with the plastic. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because I just looked at it and went, great. I can go ahead and do this. Because through unfortunate accident, I ended up with 3 Battlestars for the refit show, so I'm gonna go. So that's what I'm gonna do. Is run.
Probably do have I don't know. Again, what I found is every time I build a kit, I end up buying another copy of it to rebuild it again because I'm not happy with it the first time. So.
Well, it's always nice to have an extra kit around.
Yeah. Even as an investment for the future. Although Brad Hare takes it to extremes.
I'm sorry, what?
Brad Hare takes it to extremes.
Nah, I may take it to. He has a better. I have like over 1,200 models. His collection is more extensively diverse than mine. Mine is mostly sci-fi and planes.
Yeah, he seems to have everything. You go, I want one of those, and I want one of those, and I want one of those. I mean, as I say that, I know you put up a picture one time of your stuff, but I'd love to see your actual, the shelves, just to see what it looks like. It must be amazing.
Oh, I think I have. Well, you mean the one that I have in the house, or the one that I have in the work in my friend's storage?
Either or.
Yeah, well, I know I put up a picture of both of them, but I have some that I keep with me. So if I'm going to build something, keep me busy.
Yeah.
And then I have stuff that no, I'm not going to get to. That's in my friend's barn in boxes, and I mean, I take up one side of his barn. So he said basically he said, I'm giving him a load of something for storage every month. It takes care of his hay for the horses. He's happy. Doesn't have put out for that, and he wasn't using the space anyway.
Oh, it's when you see some people's collections, we're just jealous over here. We have no chance of ever getting anything like the collection that you have. So especially our prices we pay. It's like what we pay for one kit, you could probably buy 3. So.
All right. Well, then you guys get kits that we don't get, like when you hit the JJ Enterprise.
Yeah, and then a lot of people argue that you don't want it. But
yeah, well, I don't like it. I like the sauce so I can the neck. I don't like the bottom half of the engineering section, and I don't like the engines. I would probably do a little bashing on that, but nobody ever gave me that.
I don't know if Carwyn Morris, who's normally here, Carwyn's not here tonight. Carwyn is doing an original series Enterprise that looks quite like the JJ Prize in the sense that the nacelles are lit. The rear of the nacelles have a light source as well, where the little ball is at the end of the nacelles. All of that stuff. The deflector dish lights up. If you aren't a subscriber to Carwyn's YouTube, have a look.
Yeah, I've seen some of the pictures of it.
Yeah,
I mean, that's nice. But if I remember, see, the thing is, like at from my own Enterprise, it's like they just molded that one end cap in one piece. I thought they should have done that in separate pieces, like cars.
Yeah. Well, I know he's done something. can't think. I can't remember. Do you remember Randall? I think what Carwin's done. He's taken the. There was a spare front cap that he's using for the rear cap.
Yeah,
Or
that's
something.
the spare front cap for the 1000 scale.
That's
POF.
right. That's perfectly into the.
It's perfectly inside the tail cap or the aft cap of the Revell 600 scale.
Yeah, and that's
So
what
it's
he's
perfect match for
using.
the size of the ball in the rear end of that.
But he's very good at doing. He'll take stuff and work out, and that actually works for this, and puts it in at that. But I think it will look. I haven't, because I've been away. I haven't seen his most recent videos, so I don't know if he's posted any more stages in it. Is anyone I've seen any more that he's done?
Yeah, he's done hatches. He's done the impulse engine. Because the impulse engine had a fair amount of detail in dig drawings.
Yeah.
So he upped the detail on the impulse engine. He, as you say, lit up the warp drive nacelles, lighting up the back, doing the RCS thrusters. He's done the photon torpedoes.
He hasn't done much since last week then.
Yeah, so he's gone fairly crazy with it, but they're all these little. I mean, if you have a look at Deg's site, they're all. It looks exactly like the Enterprise, the old Enterprise used to, except he's added a few more things to it, and it doesn't detract from it. They're all. The dish being lit up is one thing. Everyone. It's like, why not light up the dish? That sounds like a good idea. The nacelles. Well, the nacelles are almost a given because the original model actually had lights in the nacelles to light up. It's just that they stuffed it up and I think they blew the transformer or something and just couldn't put it in the plastic, so they never did it. But that to me is just a logical thing to do. But the back of the nacelles with the domes on the back, lighting around the outside, I think it's a brilliant idea.
Yeah, oh no, it's something really, really. That's one of the things that impressed me. But it'd be interesting to see if they do the refit, the TOS repair or whatever the correct term is for the Smithsonian thing. I wonder if they'll fix the lighting.
The revamp. Yeah. Well, I mean, to me, if you're going to fix it up, those lights are. If you want to have it going and whatnot else, those lights are just. They're almost destined to blow and to fail. If you want to have display and you want to have it lit, so. To me, I wouldn't even think twice. I'd just replace everything with LEDs. I mean, you're not, in the end, you're not going to know that it's replaced, but it's going to last.
But then it could be an argument that it's not redoing it in a sense, but we'll see. If you bear with me, guys, it's just after 9:30 now. I've been on for over an hour and a half. I'm just going to finish the broadcast. Just say thanks for all popping in tonight, but don't go away. So we can still chat after. Just bear with me to finish things up here.
Cheers, mate.